All right, guys, so let's go ahead and graph these inequalities. So we're gonna have two graphs. Now, before we graph anything, I like to look at the symbol. So this symbol means that we're gonna have a dashed line and that this is going to be shaded on top. This symbol means we're gonna have a dashed line or a dotted line, however you wanna call it, and it's going to be shaded on bottom. So what we're gonna do is graph both of these on the graph. We're going to look for the answers. I'm going to tell you where the answers are here. So to help, I'm going to go ahead and put this into my y equals. So I have 2x plus 3. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade on top using the calculator. So move to the side. Oh, sorry. Get the glare out of there. All right, so let's go ahead and shade to the top. It's that triangle. Now for this one, I'm going to shade on the bottom. So I'm just going to go ahead and move this. Let's go down to the red, and I'm going to go to the right side. Remember, I'm using this to change this to the bottom triangle. Then I'm going to go ahead and put my equation, 2x minus 5. Now I'm going to go ahead and push trace. Now you're going to see the blue graph go, and then you're going to see the red graph go. Now, there's a couple points here that are important. So look at my little blinker. It says 0, 3. So I'm going to put a dot. Now we're 0, 1. Don't put a dot, put a circle because it's supposed to be a dashed line. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put another point like -1, enter. So -1, +1 is a point. All right, so I have -1, +1, that's another point right here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and dash line. All right, so this is like dash line like that. Dash line, and I'm going to shade above without touching the line because those are not the answers. All right, like that. Now for the red line, the next one, I want to move the blinker down here. So let me start off by go ahead, you push this little blinker, I want it to move down. I'm going to push the down button right here. So it jumps down to this. Now I'm going to start with 0. I'm going to put 0, enter. So 0, -5. So this one, 0, and then -5 is right here. And remember, this is a dashed line. So again, put a circle. Don't put a dot. Now, if I want to find another point, I'm going to type in like 1. So 1, -3. All right, I typed in 1, and I put in -3. So 1, and then -3. And then again, let's make a dash line. And then this one is shaded below. Now, the answers, whenever you have a system, when you have two graphs like this, is whenever you have a double shaded part. But these are apart, and then there's parallel. So this one has no solution. All right. When they're parallel and the shading is opposites, there's no double shading anywhere, that's no solution. Okay, so let's go down to, well, number 1. So remember, I have this y, I want to leave it by itself. This is like a -1 right here. So if I want to put it in y equals form, remember, I'm going to kick over that x, make it negative. This is a -5, and then that -1 goes on the bottom. Now whenever I divide by a -1, my sign has to switch the other way. So there is a flip whenever you divide by a -1 or a negative number. Over here, this y is just chilling. The x has to get kicked over. So I have y is greater than, and I'm going to put -x because it's the opposite, and that's a +3. Now you don't have to divide the 1, or you don't have to put a 1 because then you have to divide it. But some people, they're like, Mr. S, there's a 1 here. We got to divide it. That's true. All right, so go ahead and put your little parentheses and then put the 1 on the bottom so we can just kind of stay in the same format. Now, do not flip the line because that's a +1. All right, don't flip it. That stays the same. So let's go ahead and type it in. And let's do the shadings. So go over here, go to the side. My shading for the first one is shaded below. Okay, that's what less than is. So then I'm going to put parentheses negative 3x minus 5. And then alpha x, negative 1 on the bottom. And then this one is shaded above. This is greater than. So greater than, let's move this. Nope. There you go. So parenthesis negative x plus 3 parenthesis alpha x. There's a 1 on the bottom. Graph trace. So that's the first line. That's the second line. So this is what I'm talking about, guys. So you have the red shading, the blue shading, and the double shading. So the double shading is where the answers are, not this part. All right. So now, right now, I'm on my blue graph. Y'all see that blue right there? So on my blue graph, I have a point 0, positive 5. And I know I'm on the blue one because it says blue right here. So at 0, positive 5, I'm going to put an open circle because this does not have a dash under. So 0, go to them, sir. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put an open circle like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and type in negative 1, negative 1, positive 2. So negative 1, positive 2, circle. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a dash line. And you don't make it obvious that it's a dash line like that. There you go. Now, for the answer part, I'm only going to shade the double shaded, right? So let's go ahead and get this graph right here, the red one. Now, remember, this only works in trace. I want you to move this marker, go up. So see, now everything turns red. Right? I want you to see how everything turns red. So we'll go back to 0, 0, enter. So 0, positive 3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. There's, put an open circle right here. And then type in a number like 1, 1, 2. So over 1, up 2. So then this goes this way. And an answer is only on the shaded. So I'm not going to do the red or the blue. I'm only going to do the double. And remember, since these are dashed lines, we don't touch the line. We get really close to it, but you never touch it. Really close, but it never touches. So all of these points that are in the shaded part are answers. So for example, this one would be an answer. What is that, 10? It's like positive 10, 0. Positive 10, comma 0. Like the origin is not an answer. It's not in the double shaded part, so the origin will not work. But this points will. All right, so let's put one like right here. What point is this? 10, 10, I think? Yeah, we'll go positive 10, positive 10. 10, 10. All these are answers. These are not answers. All right. So that's the hard part about this one. All right. Let's say like this is already ready to go. All right, this line is going to be a dash line. And it's going to shade below. All right, this line, this 2 has to get kicked over. What's the opposite of a minus 2? We can just put it right here in the back, plus 2. So now we have our y is less than. Do not switch the sign because we've got no negative y, right? So y is less than negative 1/2. Okay, good. So this is going to be a dash line again. And I think it's going to be going this way. It's less than, so it shades below. So let's go and type it in. Remember, as long as that y is by itself, we're good to go. So let's clear it out. And this is, they're both shaded below. So I'm going to go ahead and change my little, okay, that's shaded below, good. Alpha x, negative 1 divided by 2, parentheses, x minus 8 parentheses, plus 2. And then right here, 2x plus 1. I gotta change the shading though. Shade below, okay. Should look like that. Let's push trace. All right, so this is my double shaded part. That's not the answer. That's not the answer. Just only this part right here. So let's start off on my blue line. I have 0, 6. So 0, 6. Again, open circle because this is a dashed line. And then we push the number 1. No, see, that's like a fraction. We can't really work that. 2. Look at 2, 5. So at 2 going to 5. That's my other one. So dash line. Now, can you get more points? Yes, you can get more points. Right. Now let's move down to the red. I'm wondering, watch, if I'm in the red, I push down and I should be in the red part. Everyone push 2. 2, 5 is also a point. So this is actually where they cross, the 2, 5 point. Yeah, these are regular lines with no shading. That would be the answer, 2, 5. Right, let's go to 0 though. Push 0. I always like to do 0. So 0, 1. 0, 1. So this line is going this way. It's a dashed line. And the double shaded part is on this section right here. So get really close to the line, but never touch it. So on this problem, the origin, the 0, 0, is in the shaded part. You see that? So that point will work. So like the point 0, 0, put a dot, like a dot right here in the middle, because that does work. If I go all the way to the end, positive 10, negative 10, this, put a dot, that works. Right? See, like these won't work over here. Nothing over here is going to work. Like 0, 10 is not going to work. Even look, 10, 0 is not going to work. But look, if I go 0, negative 10, that'll work. Yeah. So what you're going to do, guys, you're going to go ahead and finish number 3. On the back, you have to kick and divide right here. Put the 1 just so you don't get confused. So this one you have to kick and divide. You do not have to change the symbol. This is not negative. For this one, be careful. You do have to change. You have to flip because we have a negative 1. All right. So go ahead and kick and divide and then ask me to make sure you're good. All right, let me just help you out a little bit. This is going to be a solid line. It's going to be going down because we have a negative slope. And it's going to shade above. Okay, that's what that graph is going to look like going downhill. This one, it's a negative slope. So it's going to be a dashed line, though, because there's no line. And it's going to shade above. So those are those two. Those are ready to go. This will also be a negative dashed line like that, and then it should shade below. All right, but still you have to do the kick and divide thing. This one, when you kick and divide it, the sign's gonna flip. You're gonna be doing like a regular line, and it should be shading above. Okay, but do the flip and divide thing. And just remember that we got to flip this. Oh, there you go. These you do not have to flip and divide. They're already in y equals. They're both going to be regular lines. This one shaded below. This one shaded above. Okay.